Hi, welcome to Humor is Cheaper Than Therapy podcast. This is Shelley, the middle daughter, and I'm joined by my sisters Kelly and Margot and our mom Terry. We are not doctors or therapists. We are simply ordinary women who happen to be related and have fun spending time together laughing and talking. We hope you enjoy listening to our casual conversations as we discuss the ups and downs of normal life, hopefully with a lot of laughter peppered in. Thanks for joining us. This podcast was recorded December 2nd, 2020. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Hi, Terry in Montana.
Hello, all. It's Kelly in Minnesota.
This is Shelley in Minnesota as well.
And this is Margot in Montana, and this is Humor is Cheaper Than Therapy podcast. Hello, all.
Hello, and today's subject is?
Today's subject is school.
Things we learned in school.
I'm skipping.
So Kelly learned to skip school. Okay.
You have a note from your mother.
Yeah, I was real good at writing those.
Shame on you.
It's the truth. So,
Does anyone remember their first day of school? I don't, no idea. No memory.
I do.
I don't remember my first day, but I do remember kindergarten, and it's a funny story. I went to kindergarten. I think it's Kindergarten. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Kindergarten.
I understood there would be no spelling.
Okay.
Different
no spelling
school.
on this podcast. Everybody's safe.
Well, we learned it when I was in school. Anyway, I went to the same school in kindergarten that my father, your grandfather, graduated from.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that?
That's
However,
crazy.
it's not like that anymore. I'm not even sure that the old school is there anymore, but
What was the name of the school?
it was North St. Paul something. It was North St. Paul High School is what I remember, but we had the elementary. We didn't have middle school. We had junior high, senior high, and grade school. And I don't actually remember much about that, except that Ed Gein was prolific during that time. And we had the skating rink down on the corner of the it was like the football field, the playground. So down by the football field,
Yep.
we had the skating rink, and in the skating rink area was a warming house. And I remember everybody saying, Ed Gein's down there.
Well, you guys, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, he's a serial killer from Wisconsin.
Another podcast.
Dude.
Of course, that's why I don't know.
But he wasn't a serial killer, you guys.
Not really.
He only killed like one person.
No, he killed 3.
His big claim to fame was he dug up dead people and skinned them and then made stuff in his house out of their skin.
Like lampshades.
And their stuff from their boobular area.
Belts. Belts were made with the boobular parts.
Yes.
Well, back on the subject of school, Margot didn't do really good in health. She doesn't know what a boobulary is.
No, I would have said
I
that.
I did not have sex ed in school. You opted me out of that, Mother.
That was a big mistake.
I don't know about that.
Oops.
Kelly would disagree. All right, Kelly.
It didn't change a single thing either, did it?
No. Your first day of school, Kelly?
We lived in the little North St. Paul house on 11th Street there on the corner. And I remember Mom walking me, I don't know, how many blocks was it, Mom? It feels like it was like 12.
We lived on 12th.
Okay.
And the school was on between 16th and 17th. The middle of the front door was probably the kindergarten door you went in was on 16th. So that was only 4 blocks.
Well, it seems like forever, but you walked me the first day, and I remember walking every time after that.
And you know what? That was where I went to grade school.
Oh, see?
Wow.
I think I only went to kindergarten there because I know that I never went to the same school for 2 full years in a row because we moved all the time.
Right. Yep.
So, Mom, where did I go to kindergarten? Was it North Dakota?
No.
Oh.
Kelly went to school in North Dakota, but you weren't old enough. They wouldn't let you start because of you were born in December.
Right,
So it was an issue. You went to school on the farm, and I never went to that school to see you
Okay.
in school. I was working, and my sister took care of that little duty.
Okay. I don't remember that school.
So I'm assuming you would have, if you didn't get a ride. I can ask Margot if
There was a bus, I think.
I think you took a bus.
You know, it's funny. I remember going to school in North St. Paul. I remember going to school in North Dakota. I do not remember a single day of school when we lived in Hampton.
We did. We moved there in May, and probably
Maybe we didn't go to school, Cal.
Yeah,
No, we did. I know
pretty
we
sure you
did.
did.
But it must have been such a short period of time. I just don't remember any of it. There were other
That's
things.
what I'm thinking, because we moved out shortly before your dad and I got married.
Yeah.
Right.
And moved to Maplewood then.
And for all you listeners who don't know that, sounds really weird. That's another story.
We kind of covered it in our first episode and second,
A little bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Huh.
Anyway, yeah, that's just the way that was. Margot, how about you? Or Shelley? I guess you would be next. You don't remember?
Yeah, I don't remember kindergarten. The first thing I remember is Cowan Elementary, I think, and that was in North St. Paul.
Wow, you don't remember
But you
Maplewood,
went-
huh?
But you don't remember when we lived in the apartment?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes, I do. I do remember. Yep.
I remember beating
I do remember
somebody up
walking
that
to
picked on you.
school.
Yep, that's
Thank you very much.
That's a whole nother story. Sisterly love.
It's funny because sisters will pick on each other, but boy, when someone else picks on them, watch out.
Hey, that's
They will
my
kill you.
sister to pick on, not yours. Pick on your own sister.
Yes. So I do remember Maplewood. Oh, yeah. I remember first grade there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys walked to school there.
Yep.
Yep. Past the Kazi's house, straight down that road.
Yep.
I remember track and field specifically, first and second grade.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Kelly, when you took guitar lessons, didn't you take them there?
That was the second time I had taken guitar lessons. Right after you and Danny divorced, and we lived on Roberts Street by Midway Plaza, you took me to guitar lessons there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you were little.
I was 8 when they divorced.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I was so much younger than 5 or 6?
I was 8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Craziness.
Yep. 9 when she married Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast women.
Wow.
Yes.
Woman.
Our mother, the fast woman.
Yeah. Right.
Ah.
Okay, Margot,
Oh.
yours.
I do not remember kindergarten. I really couldn't tell you what things happened to me and what grades and any big memories. I do know that one time, I want to say it was probably in first grade, I did wet my pants in class because the teacher wouldn't let me go to the bathroom.
Oh,
Oh.
awful.
That ruined you for life. God.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would.
You know,
I bet that teacher learned something. Hello.
I sure hope so. I
And
sure
you-
hope so.
You had a babysitter right over there by the school for a while at the trailer court.
No, okay. I do not remember that. Mm-mm.
I do. Shelly and I, you stayed at daycare till Mom and Dad came home. Shelly and I had to ride the bus home, start supper, do whatever chores we had. And a lot of times I didn't ride the bus home. I got a ride home with Peoples.
Oh, people
Nothing
would
but-
take you all the way out there.
Well, yeah. And we had an hour bus ride. Guess what kind of
Yeah.
trouble you can get
Margot
in
used
in
to
an hour?
Margot used to sleep on the bus to school. She spent more time on the school bus, those 1st
Mhm.
kindergarten, than she did in school. More
In
hours.
school. Ridiculous.
First to be picked up, last to be dropped off.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a long ride. But I found ways to get around that. And then we had the bus driver who was cool and would drop us off because the bus would drop kids off in South Haven, then go around Lake Mary and then come back. And it was like a good 20-minute run. So he'd drop us off so we could go do whatever at the store or whatever, and then pick us up as long as we were at the railroad track.
No one ever told me that.
Well, now you
And
know.
I'm pretty sure that was against the rules.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
it was
Mom, there's so many things you don't know.
he was Fritz's brother. He was a good friend at
Oh.
the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always rode the bus, Mom.
Right.
Shelley never got off the bus.
Nope.
She always stayed right in her seat.
She used to tell me,
Good little girl.
you're going to get in trouble. And I'm like, well, you're not going to tell Mom and Dad, are you?
No, ma'am.
And Shelley never walked when the bus was moving. She always waited till it came to a complete and full stop.
There are rules for a reason. They're meant to protect you.
I remember one time on the bus route, which we'd have to take a dirt road to get to. all I remember is the girl, her name was Cindy, and she had 2 older sisters. And none of them liked me. They were always mean to me. And I punched Cindy one time on the school bus and I got in trouble. But we were going to their house and they lived down a dirt road that had a big dip in it. So you came down one hill, is really steep, and then you had to come up the other way. And it was winter. And of course, there was snow on the ground. It was icy. And as the bus was coming up the other way, it lost traction. And we slid backwards and sideways until we tipped over.
What?
And our bus hung up on a power pole, on a cable for a power pole. And we just hung there until,
I didn't know this.
I've never heard this story.
Guess what? They never told this parent.
Are you stinking kidding me?
Yeah. And then another bus had to come get us. And we couldn't get up the hill and we slid backwards and we're all screaming. Ah! And then we start sliding sideways and we tipped over and the cable for the power line held us up.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
So, Mom, you say they never told you that, but Margot didn't tell you that?
Yeah. Is this news?
She might have said something about her bus and we had to take another bus. Maybe she didn't articulate that well, but I never knew that. And if anyone's going to remember it, your dad will. So,
my thought is, Kelly, that she's talking about the road around, like, I think it was Lake Mary that went over by like the Bergmans and stuff. And,
yep.
You
the
know,
Bergmans
Brenda
and the
Ohato's
Halls
house down that road.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like if the route didn't change, that's the route she's talking about.
I would agree.
Yeah, there was quite a few kids that got picked up and dropped off on that.
Yeah.
On that road. And I just remember Cindy and her sisters, and they didn't like me. And one time when I had my moon boots on, but my moon boots, of course, they were never good moon boots. You had the bread bag.
The bread bag.
The bread bag.
Inside. Yep. The liner.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cindy made fun of my moon boots because, of course, they weren't new moon boots. Who had new moon boots?
They were
No one had
probably not. Did you actually have moon boots? Because I had snowmobile boots, those big clunking things, and I still had the bread bags.
She had moon boots.
And,
I remember.
She was making fun of my moon boots. So when it was hurt, because of course every single person got off the bus before me.
Right.
And so my boots were all wet and icky and muddy, and I got the whole seat to myself. So I'm sitting sideways and I got my feet. And as she walked by, I popped my feet out just enough to rub along her pants.
Oh,
that a girl?
how old were you?
Oh gosh, that was like 3rd grade.
Okay, pretty brave. It's that red hair makes you brave.
I didn't like Cindy. She always picked on me.
I wasn't living at home anymore, or I would have beat her up.
Okay, 10 years older. That's probably not a good idea.
Probably not.
It probably wouldn't have stopped Kelly.
Probably not.
Well, when the one was picking on Shelly, her big sister came out and we got into it too.
Oh, the apartments. Oh my goodness.
Shenanigans. Oh goodness. Yeah. Some mom will never know. Ever.
It's probably better that way.
Yep.
Well, when I'm senile, tell me then.
Yeah.
No, I think you should know now. I think it'd be funner for you to know now.
You know what, Shelly? Here's the deal. When we were sitting there and meeting Mom's friend Bobby, Mom sat right there and said, there are things my children will never know. So
that's true.
You guys were not at the little memorial we had for Uncle.
No.
That was one thing that our mother said when we were all talking about stories about Uncle. She said, oh, the things you guys will never know.
Yep.
And we're like, well, tell us. And her and Auntie were both like, nope.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Intriguing.
Right? I know.
So we all have those. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yes.
I think they differ in degrees to somewhat because I'm like, what's the worst thing I did? I'm not sure it's that bad.
Oh boy. Memory Lane. That'd be a good podcast someday.
Someday.
It would. It'd have to be also #confessions or something.
Right.
Oh, we could have a confessions.
Ooh.
What we could do is we could write them all down, typed up so nobody knows the handwriting, get them all jumbled up and read them off and try to figure out whose it is.
Fun.
Oh.
That's a great idea, Shell.
We can have a neutral party, take them all and write them all down.
Who would you want to know outside of this circle? Because they're going to know then.
Good point.
And the 6 other people that listen to us?
The only one I would trust Well, I would trust any one of my son-in-laws. Maybe not Jason. I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It is hilarious. No, it couldn't be one of our kids. It couldn't be one of our husbands because they would edit our story.
Not only that, we could all be in divorce court.
Okay, let's scratch that idea. I changed my mind.
No, my husband would be like, this one, Margot did it. This one, oh, Margot did it. This one, Margot did it. Oh, Margot, why'd you do that?
And I am never letting you go anywhere with your mother again, ever.
Exactly. All of our husbands would be saying that.
Oh, goodness.
So my husband says when someone will say some story about old granny, and he'll be like, nuh-uh, that little old lady that we used to take out to dinner? No. Little old lady who used to push Riker to the grocery store in the buggy? Nope. I don't believe
Ignorance is bliss, Jason. Ignorance is bliss.
Oh, the stories we could, we have told some stories about Granny.
Yeah, we have. She had an interesting life.
You know what? She had an influence on all of us, and I think it was very positive and maybe just a little bit wild.
A little bit.
Yes. So is anyone still have friends/acquaintances that they've been friends with since school? And has anyone reconnected since the social media has become popular?
I have Bobby, and I have my friend Gary from across the street where we grew up. I just
Also known
received
as
his phone number.
Cooner.
Yeah,
Also
I
known
just
as
received
what?
his.
Oh, Cooner.
Also known as Cooner. We
Cooner.
called him Cooner. It had nothing to do with. It was more like I don't know. He resembled a coonskin cap guy or something. I don't know it.
I remember him from being little, so that's what I remember his name as, because I had an Uncle Gary, and then there was Cooner.
Right. He still lives in the neighborhood in the same house he grew up in. That's pretty funny. And then I have Shelley's godmother, Diane, she wasn't a high school friend, but back early on in my life that I kind of reconnected with, mostly through her daughter. But we don't really communicate much, just Bobby and I. And you guys met her this summer.
Yep.
Was that last summer? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had met her before.
Mm-hmm.
She came to the North St. Paul house when I was a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. For my 30th birthday.
Okay.
She was there.
That was a party.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know. I'm teasing, Mom. I remember some
We were
things.
pretty
I believe I
normal.
have pictures.
Oh, I rode on Ben's motorcycle because I thought it was the end. My 30th birthday was my most horrible. Thought for sure I was an old lady and dying and all of that,
Oh, isn't that funny now when you look back?
Yeah. No other birthday has bothered me like that one.
The one that bothered me was 33 because I made you a grandmother at 33, and I did not want to be a grandmother at 33 with a 16-year-old pregnant daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me make this clear. Your daughter corrected that. I was 34. She told me we have to do the math. She says I was 34.
I was told there was no math on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically, she was pregnant when you were 33.
Correct. That's it.
That's
had what it was.
Turned 34, and then
Right.
the birthday girl whose birthday's today, shout out
Happy
Jackie,
birthday.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jackie.
By the way,
Was
it
born.
was 67 degrees the day she was born. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
I don't
Really?
remember that.
Oh, because I wore a
She
sundress to the
remembers
hospital.
that. She remembers that because that's my birth year.
Oh.
Kelly, now you'll never forget.
Never.
It was crazy warm for December 1st. Crazy warm.
Yeah, that's crazy warm. So Kelly, are you still friends with anybody from grade school, high school? Have you reconnected with anybody?
I am still friends with Michelle, who was our neighbor. I'm friends on Facebook. And we have never actually lost connection. It didn't take social media to get us there because I always had her phone number. We go years without talking, but when we talk, we remember everything. Haven't talked to her in a very long time. We are now friends on Facebook.
You guys!
What?
You guys. Okay, hold on. Pause. Point of personal privilege. I have to interrupt this podcast.
Okay.
You guys. So, I'm going to cry because my husband is so amazing. So, last year, I think it was my mom or somebody got Riley antlers and a Rudolph nose to put on his car.
Oh, those are so cute.
Okay.
Well, Riley's not going to put them on his car. Okay.
Oh, what a kid. I got them. Yes.
Yeah. And so I said, give them to me. I will put them on my car. So on Sunday, when we get home from church, we're decorating our house for Christmas, and we find those, and I'm like, oh, yes, go put these on my car right now, Jason. And he goes, he puts them on my car, right? So I have them on my car on Monday. I have them on my car today, and I lose one of the antlers.
Oh no.
I was so sad. I was so sad. I'm like, great. I had it for 2 stinking days and I lost the antler. And the only place I could have lost it was when we stopped at the bank today to do deposits. I rolled down my window and the antler must have fell off while I was there. And I was all super sad and so sad. And so I texted my husband and I'm like, I should have listened to you. I should have put the antlers on the back window, not the front window. I lost them. And he's like, well, go back to the bank. I'm like, well, that was like 2.5 hours ago. I just noticed it's missing now. And it's all the way up in the heights. I can't go and find my antler. He just sent me a picture of my antler. He found it at the bank.
Oh my gosh. Jason saves the day.
We need a superhero
You guys.
name for Jason.
He found my antler. You guys, you have no idea how excited I am that my car will now have antlers and a red nose.
That is awesome. That was worth interrupting this regularly scheduled podcast.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Back to Kelly and her friend.
Oh, okay. I have reconnected with the family that used to live across the road from us, the Cassidys,
with
a
all
little
the
bit.
children. Yes.
Cassidy's.
Mhm.
Oh, there's some stories.
With a couple of them. And of course, you all know my forever friend Cindy, and then her whole family.
Yes.
Anita and I were in the same grade. But other than that, I mean, these were like, well, we all know that Cindy and her family were all like family, just connecting like we do, like our family does. We just envelop people into our family.
Oh, what is that all about? We're going to start our own cult.
No, it's not a cult. It's like family. Good grief, mother. Don't start scaring people.
Oh, okay. She can edit that.
But she won't because
Nope.
it's funnier.
It's funnier that way.
Speaking of cults,
Oh,
do you guys listen to the podcast Cult?
No.
I have
No.
not.
That's a good one. There are some messed up, freaked out people in this world. And there are some messed out, freaked out people that follow messed up, freaked out people in this world.
So when
You don't
guys,
say.
when you guys first moved to and we came out, went to the church that you were involved with at that time. And then I went on a retreat with Mom and I met people who had been involved in cults and their parents.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. No one's going to tell me all the way what to do. Even ask my husband. I mean, he tries. He does try. Bless his heart. But
It's so amazing how these narcissistic people are able to convince rational thinking people to unthink all their rationality.
Well, if that is the criteria, I was married as it was a cult that I was married into.
Well, but that's how a lot of these cult people do they're narcissist.
yep.
They're able to, get you to
It's weird.
love
It's
and
weird.
honor and trust. And then once they have that, then they slowly turn it. And
Yep.
Yeah. And my question about those folks is made that way, born that way.
Nature, nurture. Good question.
It's something we can talk about someday. But,
Mhm.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking
Margo
of
is-
the Bundys and those
Mhm.
folks.
There is a such thing as brainwashing, and that's what that is.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it's a real thing.
I know
I
it
experienced
is.
it personally.
I know it is.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
However,
And
he didn't
however-
scare me.
No, but he was pretty freaking scared of you, Mom, apparently. Really
Yeah,
scared of you.
that was handy for me once or twice. Yep.
Yep. That's good. Good.
However, he did, he was a beguiler. Yeah, we got to admit.
Yep.
Back to school.
Back to school. Hey, that's a movie, by the way. I've never watched it.
Back to school.
Mhm.
Back to school.
Isn't that
Okay, so let's see. I'm still friends with Kelly, have been since fifth grade. Regular, been wonderful. And I have reconnected with several high school friends, just very superficially. And then Brenda, believe it or not. So it's been great. It's been really great. I like social media for that reason. I'm not super active on it, but it is nice to see all these people I grew up with. And I never went to a single high school reunion until my 30th. And it was the best decision I ever made. It was so fun because at that point, after 30 years, everybody's over all the high school stuff and you're just people and you're genuinely happy to see each other. It was very cool.
Well,
Highly recommend it.
I don't get invited to high school reunions because, I decided to drop out of school at 16 and nobody cares about me, and that's fine. I don't have a problem.
I still get invited, but I don't go.
Well, you went to the same school,
great.
Mom. You went to the same high school for all the years. I
Right.
bounced. So, and I really don't care. There are not people I really care to have any connection with because I was so wild. I did stupid things. People were mean because I was always the new kid, and I just don't. No.
You know what Riker says?
Desire.
In the wisdom of Riker says, I've said everything I have to say to those people.
Okay, well, some of us had better experiences than others, I guess.
Well, you know
So-
what? Except here's my kids who went to the same school virtually their entire lives. They have no desire to come back and go to the reunions, to go to anything. Neither does my husband, who went to the same school all my children did. None.
I guess I'm overruled here, folks. But
Well, no.
I had a great time.
You were just the nicer
Well, I don't
one.
think Margot doesn't go to any either.
No, well, I'm a little bit in the same thought as Kelly is, I went to Annandale School, elementary, and then I went to Buffalo Christian School, and then I went to Christian School here in Billings, and then I went to Skyview Public School. So there's no like school where I was like there for years and years and years,
Right.
Oh, okay.
So
It's
so it's not like I go back to the school and because it's just like,
Yeah. I can
know you.
I can see
but-
why that would be a thing. I was in that school from fifth grade until graduation. And
Oh, sure.
funny story. I didn't graduate, right?
I was gonna
left in
say,
the middle of but
yeah.
listen,
okay.
I left in the middle of 11th grade, but I stayed connected and got invited anyway. And when I was talking to those people after 30 years and I said, hey, this is great. I didn't even graduate and here I am. And they were like, what? You graduated with us, didn't you? I was sure you graduated with us because the memories fade and
Yep.
they just remember me and not if I was there till the end. So I don't know. I just had a great time.
And that's awesome.
My little
I know
story.
you had a great time. It's awesome. Connected with people I even remember. So, and now I think we know Margot's number one friend.
Yep.
We
Yes.
know her.
Yes. Betty Jo is the only friend that I have stayed in contact with since school. There's no one else that I have.
Well, let's face it, Margot, the neighborhood was small.
True story.
There was there might be a couple squirrels.
No, Mom and Dad shot
we
that
ate
bunny.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we ate
Oh,
them.
yeah. We ate them.
Yeah. And since social media, there's a couple more that I have reconnected with, but they're not people that I have like memories that we were friends in school. It was just more of, oh yeah, we were the same class,
Mm-hmm.
class
Yeah.
of 1993
Yeah.
in Annandale Cardinals. But
Go Cardinals.
other than that, so a couple that I've kind of reconnected a little bit there, but I never fit in school. It was kind of like me and Betty against everyone else.
Man, I think we all can relate to that, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Definitely.
yeah.
I was a wallflower.
I just had a memory come up. I was in the cities, after we had moved out here to the country, and I went to a garage sale in Bethel, Minnesota. I was on my way to visit my friends, Debbie, Cindy, and Anita for an occasion. Anyway, I hit this garage sale and this woman looks at me, and it must have been 20 years after I'd been in school. I mean, I'd been married a while, maybe not 20 years, 10 at least. She goes, "Is your name Kelly?" "Yeah." She says, Kelly, whatever.
Oh,
Well, not anymore, but yeah. She goes, oh my gosh, we went to junior high together. And then then it hit me who she was. I needed that something to focus on because she knew me. And it was the funniest thing.
isn't that funny? She remembered you?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because, I mean, that was John Glenn Junior High in Maplewood that I went to junior high at until Annandale. So, yeah, it was weird. So, anyway, you made me think of that.
I would like to interject, if this is a good time, that it's different for Kelly, I would say our children, Margot, our children, because of social media and Facebook and MySpace back in the day,
Right?
because Sharia is friends, and Jake and Josh too, with so many of their friends. Like Sharia gets together with at least 10
Oh,
of her friends.
At least I see pictures all the time.
It has changed those relationships. It's very, very different now.
Yes, and both my boys have been social media friends with all their friends since school.
Oh gosh, yes. I'm closer friends with your boys' friends than I was with my friends. They call me Graham.
Right?
But you
Again.
you hooked up with you connected with Nyla this year. That was a blessing.
Yes. Yep, just this year. With
Because I
Nyla.
worried about her a lot. I thought she might have had issues.
I love that connection with Nyla because I was in Girl Scouts with her. I think that is just so cool.
You
Oh,
knew,
you were?
you knew Nyla?
I knew Nyla. Kelly Peterson and I. Yeah, the three of us. I mean, we weren't like chummy and everything, but we were in the same troop.
Do you remember? I remember this because I always remember the traumatic things in life. You had to drag me along with a Girl Scout camp out,
Yes.
and
Oh,
I had to be in charge of the bag with the soup or the cans or the whatever was in it.
Yes.
And I lost it.
I think it was forgotten on the bus or at school. Yes. I do remember that, Margot. I bet that was traumatic for you.
Yeah, I can remember the bag. It was a green canvas bag.
It
with
was.
straps, and it had buckles.
Yep. I remember the bag too. It was, and I remember being mortified at the time because that was our responsibility and our portion to bring to the group unit, and it got lost. But
And
here we are a
yeah.
lot of years later, and it
A lot of
doesn't
years.
Matter.
Yep. And every time I see a green canvas bag, I don't
Remember
twitch
that.
or nothing.
And Margot she said she went to Billings Christian School, and one day in church she met a girl who's the granddaughter of a friend of mine in church that went to school with her.
Oh, wow.
fun. You know,
Yeah.
I run into my kids' friends, as does Dave, all the time. We are really connected with a lot of them, which is interesting.
Yeah.
One of Christy's friends, he and his wife just had a baby and they just live a little ways away from me. And her name is Nora. So I can no longer do my Freudian slip with Rona.
We need to cut that out.
No, we don't.
But it's so funny. Oh, Lord.
It's okay. It's part of who we are. Anyway.
That's right. First off, Shelley, I don't know if she would listen to us. And even if she does, I don't care.
Oh, no. I don't care about her. I care about the other one
Oh,
who doesn't
No, it's
listen either. So
it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
I think she's fine.
Yeah. And
that was
and I always I think about this a lot. And I think about, our parents. Neither of our parents graduated high school, right? Okay. They both dropped out quite young. Like, what grade did Dad go to?
I feel like
He only needed a couple credits to graduate before the end he dropped out. He said, what am I doing here? I go to work and make some money.
yeah. When you're one of 7, that's what you do.
Right? Yeah. But both of our parents went on to college. I mean, Dad went to tech school for mechanics, and Mom went to school. And actually, you got your diploma.
Right.
Yep.
You got your high school diploma, not your GAD. You got your diploma.
Right.
I got to go
And then
watch
you
her
went on to
graduate.
college.
That's right.
Now, was your graduation gown and cap, was it white?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think so. Was
yes,
it?
was.
It
Yep.
was white. I think it was
Okay.
white. I can see
For
the
some
picture.
reason,
Mhm.
I can picture that.
Well, I
Mom
know
in a
that-
white cap and gown.
Right. I went to some classes. I got life credit, and then I went to some classes.
We should all have bank and life credit.
No
Really?
kidding.
We do. We
That's
do.
what- and then they so we graduated after that class that year. The regular class that was graduating that year graduated, and then that group of us who came back as alternative students, I guess you would call.
You would. Yeah.
We graduated at the very end of all of that.
Now, Margot, you were like 4 years old, so I believe you do remember her in a white cap and gown. I believe that would be your
I
memory.
remember it.
I remember
Yeah.
it.
And I know
just
there's
remember-
probably pictures
I have
somewhere.
them.
Good. I'm glad someone does.
I also remember when everyone threw their caps up, you got hit
That's
by
right.
the corner of one and got a little cut on your head.
It was a big cut. Those
Was it?
things were sharp. And when they do that now, I'm like, don't throw your cap. If you throw your cap, put your hand on your head. I'm like, oh my God, don't throw your cap.
Yeah, I do remember you
but
getting
now
a
it's
cut.
made out of like
It was
foam.
metal. It was metal.
Mhm.
Oh, it was metal?
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
I thought it
sure.
was just like thick cardboard.
I suppose it's possible, but I think it felt like metal.
No, I think there were metal like brackets on the corners of the cardboard to keep it
On
from
the corners.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
Corner
And head
bead.
wounds bleed.
And in a white
There's a
gown.
star up there.
In a white gown, of course.
Yeah. But so yeah, our parents didn't graduate school, but they both went on to second education. And then neither you or Shelley finished high school. I barely hang on by the tips of my fingers. I held on. And the only reason that I passed English my senior year was because my teacher said, "I like you." Like, I should not have passed.
Don't
Should
name
not
the
have
teacher
passed.
right now.
Well, doesn't matter.
Yeah. But all of our kids
Yep.
graduated.
Yeah, they
Yep.
did.
And then Kelly and Shelley, both of you guys went on to college,
Hmm.
into college. And then
Mhm.
all of our kids have graduated. Some of them, some college stuff, some not.
Yep. Well,
But
both
they're all
Nathan
successful.
and Christy both have a college degree.
Mhm. And Jake,
And Jake and
And
Josh. Hmm.
And Travis has some college. Shreya has some college.
Right. Yep.
Mhm.
And Kent,
yeah.
But
there's no reason Shreya can't finish whatever college she wants because I did it as an
Yep, she
adult.
will. No,
Yeah.
it's in her plan. But also, all 10 of those children are successful.
They
Here's-
are. They're all healthy.
Hmm.
They're all living on their own, playing
Yep.
their own way.
Yep.
Just and content and there are different levels of success or different types of success.
Hmm.
I feel like, Joshua is successful in one way, Jake is successful in a different way, and Christy, Nathan, they're all successful, and it's just impressive.
Yes. So one of my goals, Margot, when you bring that up, was with my children. I had 2 goals. I should have had 3, but I had 2. They were all going to graduate high school, and no one was going to be pregnant before they were married. Accomplished.
Accomplished. Well, I'm glad that you intervened in all of the backseat activity to make that happen. Good job.
No, I didn't. I'm just hearing about backseat activity these days, but
Hey, we were all teenagers. We all know exactly what's happening.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Everybody who's
Mhm.
listening, you think your kid's innocent. They're not.
Nope.
They are not.
They're doing what you did as a teenager, and it's normal.
We don't have any teenage grandkids anymore. My
No.
my last one turned 21 this year.
Oh, my
Mhm.
Lanta.
You have a teenage great grandkid, Mom.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she said grandkid, not great grandkid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
hmm
So, what did you guys learn in school that you don't use today? That
Long
was useless.
frickin' division.
I'm going to cross that off my list because that was the most terrible time between you and me, Shelley.
I'm sorry,
Oh, my
Mom. I
Lanta.
just didn't get it. I know how to do it now, but they don't do it that way now.
No,
Oh, I did.
Oh, has anyone actually attempted the new math?
no. Why would
Oh,
we?
No. No.
Well, wait.
No.
Wait, what do you mean by attempted the new math? Which new math?
the way that they're teaching math now, has anyone actually like taken a worksheet and tried to do it?
No.
I guess how would I know? I don't see those.
Well, you can go
Maybe-
online. I mean,
Maybe you
I've
could get one
watched
from
people,
Jackson. Maybe you could get one
you
from
know,
Jackson.
I've
Right.
watched people on YouTube videos be like, okay, here's the problem. 1 + 1 = 2, you know?
Mhm.
Now the new math, you circle this and you circle this and you draw a line over here and you do this over here and then it all equals 2. I've seen people
does
do
it?
it, but
Okay.
but I've never actually done it myself, like taken a problem and tried to figure it out with the new math.
So with
the go ahead, Cal.
with my kids, the new math was they had like dots on each point of a number that equaled that number. And I'm like, hold on.
That's just like counting your fingers. It's,
Yeah. We
No biggie.
struggled doing math because Dave and I are like, okay, 12 plus 8. 10 plus 8 is 18 and add 2. That's how we do it. That's how it works. Yeah. I don't
Right?
do the dots.
You do the drills to learn the math.
Right. 6
Right.
times 6 is 36.
Always has been. Yep. They did that when I was in school.
So
my kids, you guys, this popped into my head. I ate and got sick on the floor. 8 times 8 is 64. My kids used to say that.
I never heard that.
neither have I.
Didn't know that was still stuck in there.
Oh,
There you
boy.
go.
Yeah. I mean, I use math
The
all the time.
only
Long division,
Yeah.
multiplication, algebra, all of
well,
it.
wait a second.
Whoa.
You say you whoa,
Oh.
yeah. Stop the train because
You-
there's no way you sit and write out long division because you have a calculator.
Actually, there
Yeah.
there are times I do because it's quicker.
Then a calculator.
actually, I do that too. If I'm on a scratch paper, I will do it, but I don't write it all out.
Shelley, I
Goes
don't
in my
have a
head.
calculator. I have to use my calculator key on my monitor or on my
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
there are times I
Yeah.
just quick do it on my scratch paper.
Wow. Well, that makes one of us.
No, I have on my tab bar on my computer at work different calculators. So if I need to figure out different things in my rental business, different
Mhm.
equations for different things, I can just click on that. A square footage calculator, click on it.
Perfect.
Yeah, because she uses math a lot.
Right.
So, bleh.
Yeah. Well, math
I love math.
math is a
Math does not love me.
Well,
We-
does anybody use algebra?
No.
Useless.
No, but I do want to say that I still struggle with this one area. And you know how I learned how to get a percentage on a calculator is 20%, and you hit the percent sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
hmm
That's how I learned. That's how you do it. Well, the kids nowadays, or even the 30 somethings go, no, it's 0.0 whatever. And I'm like,
Right.
what? I don't understand. So now the calculator, I hit the percent sign and it switches to the 0.08 or whatever it's supposed to be.
Oh,
I still can't remember it. So I don't know why. I'm stuck with
right.
the way I learned it and I just can't get on.
And you
board
use
with it.
math a lot in your business as well.
Yes, every day.
Mm-hmm. So
Margins and lots of stuff.
one of the new well, not new now, it's been a couple of months, but my boss wants to know our revenue per mile per driver and our revenue per mile per truck. Kelly created,
Spreadsheet.
yes, ma'am.
You just have a pre-made spreadsheet and you just bum 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 bum. Now, did you have to make this spreadsheet or did somebody make it for you?
Oh, I made the spreadsheet, honey. I made it. I
Ugh.
made them. And I'm the one who has
Hate
to
making
go
spreadsheets.
through, oh, I love it, has to go through all the pay sheets, which we do on spreadsheets as well, because I've got to calculate how many miles every driver drove. I have to calculate how many hours of detention they've earned, how many drops they get paid for. I mean, I'm mathing all day long. And so then I had to create this. So to me, that is fun. I like creating those things.
So what I'm hearing is there were things that I felt were useless in school because I probably wouldn't use them. But what they were teaching us or what they were finding out about us, letting us find out is where our interest would be when we were adults. So it really wasn't useless
No.
for everyone.
And
It made me learn I hate math.
So when you talk about
Yeah.
algebra is just problem solving. I was really good at algebra because I can
Oh,
take
your
I
dad
loved-
says it's just a puzzle.
I loved
Exactly.
algebra. Loved it.
Yes. So
Oh, the X's and the Y's and
Yes,
no.
I love the X's and Y's. I don't know why. I don't
Isn't
use
that
it,
just
and I
Math
don't think
with
I ever.
an alphabet?
Yes,
Right?
it is.
Combine the two. It's crazy.
But X could be different. It could be anything.
now take me to trigonometry and I'm over it. I'm out. Tap
Yeah,
out.
I
that was even
horrible.
a blimp on my horizon, trigonometry.
Okay. You guys, Kelly mentioned something there, a word that I thought was kind of interesting for school that was useless. Detention.
Oh,
Ah, you think that was useless? Did you?
well, we got
It made people like Kelly upset.
no, it didn't. I got split detention. I got 15 minutes of lunch and 15 minutes of detention. And you know what?
But what? Okay, so what was detention? Let's define it for those people that have never heard of it.
Oh, detention was when you got caught skipping a class or got caught doing something you weren't
Or
supposed
throwing
to.
a spitball at your neighbor or passing a note and go to the
Right.
principal's office and they
And you-
go, you're staying after school
No,
tomorrow.
ours,
I can't today, tomorrow.
there was after school detention and there was split detention. And they liked the split detention more in Annandale because no one had to stay after school to watch you. So it was 15 minutes for your lunch because they have to let you have lunch and 15 minutes for detention. So what it really did for me is I didn't eat lunch. I went out and did my smoke break off school grounds and then went to detention.
Over at the Old Owl
Yeah.
grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Red
old
owl. Red Owl. I said it wrong. Red Owl.
Oh,
No, right around the fence,
Yep.
there was a
Remember.
spot right on the other side
Oh,
of the
that's
fence.
true. That's
that
true.
house.
You
Yeah.
smokers.
Okay, so nobody liked math. How did you feel about dodgeball?
nope.
Oh,
I
How
loved
useless
it.
is that shit?
I was out. I couldn't even get a ball.
I couldn't
be
get a
out.
ball. I was out.
And if
And they
they
always
didn't
went
like
for
you,
me
if they
because they
didn't
knew
like
they
you,
could get me.
if they didn't like you, they hit you good.
Hard.
That stung.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hit him
The
back.
boys, they didn't. Oh my gosh, they would hit me right in the face. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm with you, Margot.
Good thing I wasn't there. They'd
That
have
was
been
almost as
done.
bad as learning to square dance with them.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Oh, that doesn't happen anymore. I guarantee it. Oh, we did have to square dance.
We
Oh, my
did.
gosh.
Oh,
We did.
And I always got the nerd, you know. Oh,
He's
I'm a nerdy
probably
guy. I
a
love it.
nuclear scientist now, Mom.
right. And he
Yeah,
probably
and-
said, I always had to dance with that one.
Probably. Wow.
I also thought that learning the periodic table was pretty useless.
Oh, I used
Oh,
that.
totally. But we had to memorize that thing.
That is Jason and Riley's favorite thing is the periodic table. They're always
Yep.
doing some sort of pun or something with the periodic table.
But-
and I just sit there and smile and nod my head. Mm-hmm.
I look at
What's fun about it? Just memorizing it or what?
Yeah. And like recognizing the symbol or talking about the metal and then telling what the periodic table abbreviation is.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
I see them on license plates.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, you know them enough to know it on a license plate?
some of them.
Oh.
Science is not my favorite, but it was fun.
Okay. So what's the importance of learning pi?
it's good to eat.
There's your answer. The silence right there.
Well, I got to tell you, Jake used to know, I don't know, like 57 digits in pi.
It's
He had it
3.1414141414 or something like that. No, actually,
No, it isn't.
it isn't.
No, it's
Nope.
not. It
The
does
numbers
not repeat.
They do. It's 3.143.
No, they don't.
I know
Okay.
they don't.
Really?
They-
Is that what it is? No, you don't.
Little,
You
little.
don't know it.
I do understand
okay,
what he's talking about.
What is it for? I don't even know.
Well,
It's for math, which is unnecessary.
Math is not necessary, people.
if you're going to be building something, you need to know pi because you need to figure out circumference and area.
I thought that was
That's
geometry.
No,
Bingo.
Yes, that is geometry.
It is geometry, but there's more to it.
But if
Hold on.
you're a carpet layer, geometry's good.
The importance of pi?
I think pi was taught in geometry. I think that's where we learned it.
Is.
But what is the purpose of pi? If you can figure out the circumference and radius
Pi-
and diameter and all of that.
Hang on. Pi r squared.
Wait, we got the Google Master on it.
Yes. According to Google, the definition, it's the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter.
Thank
A
you.
number just a little bit bigger than 3. The constant pi helps us understand our universe with greater clarity. The definition of pi inspired a new notion of measurement of angles, a new unit of measurement. Blah, 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 blah,
Blah, blah, blah. I'm with you. No.
I know.
It helps us understand our universe with greater clarity.
I don't understand it to
Does it?
understand nothing.
That's
Does
what,
it?
that's what Google said.
Well, that would have to be like some geniuses.
And why
because
do
it
we
ain't
need to
us.
do that? Why do we need to understand our universe? Why?
That's a good question.
Oh, it's just like diagramming sentences. Anybody ever do that?
Wait.
English major over there, woman?
Oh, man.
Dude.
She passed out.
Did you-
She's trying to recite pi.
The circumference of the toilet seat is.
Oh.
I'm telling
Yeah, no, diagramming sentences, the only reason that diagramming sentences has any meaning for us in adult life is understanding what words to use when you play Mad Libs.
Okay.
That is the only reason that teachers taught us that. And you'd have to circle the verb and put a square around the noun and a squiggly line above the adjective.
Yeah. And there's
I like
adverbs and verbs and
Nouns and pronouns.
yes.
It's a jumbled mess.
I know what an adjective is, and that's about it because I use them all the time.
It's a descriptive word, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay.
That darn cat.
That darn cat.
Darn would be an adjective, but it can also be a noun if you're knitting or darning your socks.
Ah, very good.
Oh, look
Very,
at you.
very good. Wow.
Using a word in another.
A noun, person, place, or thing. What else have I remembered from school?
What is an adverb, you guys?
A describing word.
That's an adjective.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
we were talking about diagramming sentences. Where were you?
Muted.
She was letting the dog out.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, no, adjective, Kelly. We just talked about that.
Okay, an adverb is like
A word or phrase that modifies or qualifies an adjective, verb, or other adverb in a word group, expressing a relation of place, time, circumstance, manner, cause, degree, etc. Blah 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 blah.
Can I have an example of that, please?
no.
Okay. Kelly.
Quiet.
Geez, I was muted and you yelled at me, so now I'm not muted. But okay.
Well, you said no.
One of my other favorite things about high school, I'm going to do or school in general, I'll do my very favorite one last, was rope climbing. What the hell did girls need to climb a rope for?
Well,
So
no,
boys could look
no,
at their
no, no.
butts going up the rope.
That was for physical activity. I mean, okay, phys ed is gone now. Do kids even do that anymore?
No, it's sad.
Riley did.
I need to talk
He was
to
the last kid in high school. He did, but it was only like one day a week.
Yeah, it's minimal, and it's one of the most important things of our lives.
And
our
it wasn't
bodies.
called phys ed, it was called gym class.
Right.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
In
And in fact,
gym shorts.
it was a elective that he could take, which he took because he was getting ready to go into the Air Force, but you didn't have to take it. It was an elective that he took.
That's crazy.
So the worst part about that for me was 1, uniforms, 2, community showers.
Well, okay, showers was my very favorite thing about high school. Get a bunch of girls together and learn how to take a shower with a hand towel.
Right. With a napkin.
In a group, and the teacher standing at the door watching every one of you
Mm-hmm.
go in
Yeah, pervert.
and come out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I never had to take a shower in school.
Really?
Oh.
How'd you get with
Nope.
that?
Nope. It was optional. I did not have to do it.
Oh, we had to.
Oh, yeah.
I
Couple
hear
years later, Cal.
if I wasn't skipping, I had my period every time. Then I
Yep.
could go to the
Good
one of
old
the private
Mrs.
ones.
Shackleton. Oh, my Lanta, Mrs. Shackleton. Get in there and take your shower.
Shackleton.
That was her name. She was like a
Wow.
drill sergeant. But,
Like I'm
I
Porky's.
wonder. Yeah. The thing is, every other girl in there, except the ones that had matured early, didn't look at you because they were worried you were looking at them.
Looking back now, everybody was worried about themselves.
Right.
You know,
Nobody looked
I
at
remember,
anybody.
I mean, I did have to change into gym clothes, and I was really good at changing under clothes. I must be one of the most modest people on the planet, and I was good at it. Just, you're not going to see nothing here. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, he's sorry. He's
about-
used to it.
how
We've
about-
been married a long time.
Here's a useless task, dioramas.
Oh, now that's
Well,
fun.
They were fun to make, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got the parents involved.
Yeah, I never had to make one as a kid, but I had to help 4 children through those.
Yeah.
Right. Kelly, that's kind of like a craft. You do realize that, right?
I do.
Hey, she crochets, or she knows how anyway.
So funny thing. I am trying to get rid of stuff in my house.
Yay!
Actually,
I'm
one
so
dresser
proud of you.
left the house today.
What?
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Congrats, Cal.
Where did it go?
Somebody
Burn
is
pile.
actually it's the 100-year-old oak dresser Dave's had since I've known him.
Oh, okay.
That was
all right.
coming apart in places, and somebody wants to refurbish it. I emptied
Very cool.
a dresser and a half in my room over the weekend. He took one of the dressers
You
to his
emptied
room.
it.
Emptied. Mm-hmm.
So the stuff is still in a pile in your room.
No.
No.
I have a Goodwill bag going. I have one I'm going to keep going, which is in a tote, and I'm going to go through it one more time before anything goes back in a dresser.
All right.
So
Because
Awesome.
to put a little context to this woman had 3 dressers, a full closet, and stuff piled on the dressers.
only a half
But
a
it wasn't all
closet.
her stuff. That was some of her 4 children's stuff.
No,
I
it's all my clothes.
I don't think it was.
It's all my clothes.
I was okay. So she's accumulated, and now she's like, okay, this is too much. So she's purging, and it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, I forget where I was going now with this.
Your dresser's leaving your house.
Yeah, we started with something else though.
I started it with making a diorama. I don't know what that has to do with it.
Crafting with kids. We were talking about crocheting, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I know where it went now. So
Yay! Woo! Rabbit trail.
in all of this,
Lily pad.
it is a lily pad. I found a handcrafted ashtray that one of my daughters made me when they were in grade school. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Need a new ashtray on the porch. We're going to use it. We're going to make use of it.
I love that. I love that. It's
There you go.
fulfilling its purpose.
Yep. And I'm not throwing away
It's
something
not
that.
just collecting dust anymore. It's actually going to be used.
No, you should have seen the dust I had to clean out of it though before I could think, oh, I can incinerate a cigarette in here.
Well, let's see. How old is said child? So it's probably 20 years old?
It's probably like 25 years old.
I love that.
It's an
Did any of you guys learn to play the recorder in music
Oh,
class?
heck. Yeah.
Nope. All my children
I would
did, though.
imagine so, but I don't remember.
I do not remember the recorder. All 4 of my children did, though.
I played the clarinet. Anybody remember me playing the clarinet?
I just
I
remember you
don't.
playing the guitar and you just never finished. I don't know why you didn't finish, doggone you.
I was in choir, not band.
And
Trying to remember
there was
whose
another thing
clarinet
for
I
me.
had.
Choir. Oh, it was my sister's.
Okay.
That's cool.
Anyway, she played the clarinet. Yeah,
Okay.
my brother played the drums, and I just played around.
You could have been the monkeys.
Which
Then, instead of the monkeys, there's the Behringers.
exactly, it works.
Oh,
Oh, wow. That one made me laugh really hard. Okay, go ahead, Mom. You were saying something.
I remember dissecting a frog in school.
We didn't have to do that.
we dissected
What
sharks.
is that doing for your life now?
Nothing.
When I got to that part of science, I was going to the Christian school in Buffalo, and I was the only one in my class, and I had to watch it on a video. We didn't actually get a frog or a piggy or a whatever.
Shark.
I watched it on a video, cassette tape, video, VHS.
Wow. At least it wasn't beta.
Do you remember going to the video store?
Yeah.
Yes.
And there would be the Betamax, the big box, and then
Mhm.
there would be the VHS, the smaller box.
I remember
I
coming
remember.
to Mom and Dad's out in South Haven, and Dave and I start stopping at the one video store between the cities in South Haven to find movies, and they were only Betamax to bring to Mom's. Yep, I remember.
Crazy.
We used to go to the store and get movies and Nintendo games. Where was that store at that we used to go to back when we lived in French Lake?
I
You got
remember
games
going to the
in
one in
French?
Buffalo. We went to one in
Mhm.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
I
a
don't think
Blockbuster in Buffalo.
I don't think it was Buffalo. It was like a gas station /
Mm.
they had movies
Oh,
and
French Lake?
Nintendo games in it.
No,
it
had to be
wasn't- it
South
wasn't-
Haven.
Yeah, it wasn't in Lantos.
Kingston?
I think it was Kingston.
Oh, there
Oh,
you
you're
go.
right.
Kingston. And we would go there, and me and Dad would get stupid B-rated horror movies, some stupid B-rated something, and then we could also get a Nintendo game, but I could never get a violent Nintendo game.
Oh,
I could only get educational Nintendo games.
That's funny.
well, was Super Mario violent?
No.
No,
Oh, good.
no,
It wasn't.
it wasn't, because you weren't killing anything. You were just bopping little
Turtles.
turtles and little mushrooms. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I remember going to but I'm pretty sure it was Kingston.
Mhm.
We have to double check with Dad because he'll remember.
That little corner grocery in Kingston. I'm pretty sure that's probably right.
Yeah.
But things we learned in school, spelling and math, that's all done for us on computers now.
Kind of, unless you're,
Kind of. I mean, go ahead, Kel.
well, unless there are things you just need to know at the time, at the moment, when you don't have a computer in your hand. And I guess I'm different. My phone is not always attached to me like other people's are, but there are times you just need it.
Yeah, if I don't have a computer / phone near me to be able to spell something, then my husband is near me and I ask him and then he slowly spells it for me.
See, it's opposite in my house. Dave's like, Kelly, how is this spelled?
Yeah, Dad's not a good speller, but he's really good at math.
There you go. I don't know. We all have our things.
Right. And that's what school was all about, was finding our thing.
Exactly.
I can say all this stuff was useless, but clearly it was useful to someone.
Some of it. I think they get it wrong in a lot of areas, because what does everybody go on to do? For the most part, get married and have kids. They really need something about relationships and child rearing. It is sorely lacking in that area.
Right. And
Yeah, and not just giving a boy and a girl a 5-pound bag of flour and telling it to keep it alive by Monday.
right. Or an egg. Exactly.
I never had any of that. I don't know why. I never had any of that.
Oh, we had an egg.
No, there needs to be some real life skills taught that
Right.
people actually.
Oh,
go
and
on
Margot
to.
and I could give you a list of things like balancing a checkbook. How about writing a check? Some people don't even know they're supposed to sign them.
Right.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
got
say
all
sign
that.
it.
So that's changed because I got that. I mean, I didn't get a lot more than just how to fill out a ledger and write out a check, not actually balance. I think we did actually have to balance checkbook, but I'll bet that's all gone now.
You have no idea how many millennials come into our office to pay rent and don't fill out their check properly, or basically say, now how do I do this?
or
All the time. All
Isn't
the
that
time.
sad?
or just tell you,
Yeah.
sign it and tell you to fill it out.
And these are the people that we're trusting with our future. They can't even write a check.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
how about budgeting? Could we teach them a little bit about budgeting?
Right.
That would be very beneficial.
So a lot of that
You know?
I was taught in home economics, but I don't think they teach that anymore.
Home economics, yes. That was one of the
Where-
classes that I thought was
Right.
valuable.
Yes, I agree. I wrote that down too. Where has that gone? I learned to sew. I learned some cooking skills, even shop though.
Shop
I at
class,
least-
yes.
Yes.
I learned
Yes.
some stuff that I actually use today.
Absolutely.
And that's because you learned how to use a ruler in math class.
You know what? They do all come together. You need a ruler if you're sewing and if you're doing a shop project.
But I think there's other topics that we could teach kids, like how about sustainable living or let's teach them a little bit about human rights.
There we go there. And that's supposed to be in your civics. What's that called?
I didn't take civics.
Yeah, social studies, civics.
Social studies, okay.
But the problem is there are teachers who are one-sided or the other and things get skewed, or there are things that are faux pas to talk about anymore, and you can't get.
So are you saying that teachers are teaching their opinion rather than the facts?
Heck yeah.
No, I think they're limited.
No, bullshit.
Woohoo!
It depends. Is it grade school, high school, or college? There's a huge difference.
True that.
Because I think, yes.
Is it a teacher with tenure or is it a new teacher?
Amen to that. Yep.
Oh, one of my favorite movies of all time, Jo Beth Williams and Nick Nolte, Teacher or Teachers. Great movie.
But you know what? We wouldn't have all this racial divide if we would teach basic human rights. We didn't even think about the color of people in school when I was in school.
I still don't even think about the color of people. I don't until someone says, well, I'm a different color than you. And I'm like, okay, I don't think about it. I think you're a person. I'm a person. God created us equal.
How about if they would learn the basics of cleaning a house, Margot?
Oh. Do you know how many mothers have called me and said, what did you expect from him? He's only 20 years old. I expected him to clean his toilet. That is what I expected of him. Well, he's just 20. You can't expect that from him.
You expect them to at least put it back in the same condition it was. And if they don't know how to do that, then they should learn to budget their money so they could, or borrow some money so they could hire someone to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun when you're the boss and a mom calls you? I had a mom call me once and say, now this is for a 34-year-old woman. Okay. Well, her best friend works for you and she's being mean to her. Okay. You fix that, mama. That's not my job. Not my job description. Thank you.
And how many moms call and say, yeah, so my son is looking for a place. So I'm calling about this place. And I'm like, okay, well, have your son give us a call. Well, he's really, really busy and he just doesn't have the time to do this. My son is really busy and he can't call in and tell you that his stove isn't working.
Yeah, because he goes to work and flips a few burgers, which they don't do flip anymore. And then he has to go home and play his game on his thing. Okay. Whatever.
Mom, we have a phone line that runs 24/7. If we are not here to answer it, Mom, he can leave us a voicemail. We also have an internet site where, again, 24/7, he can send us his maintenance requests. Unfortunately for you, Mom, I can't do anything for you.
As millennials.
Whose parents,
jump in and try to save the day all the time. It's funny.
Yeah. And Riker will be like, hey, Mom, will you? And I'm like, nope.
Can you guys imagine if I would have called one of my children's employers or
no,
I didn't even call the people they rented from in Billings for them. No. Oh my gosh, Dad would have flipped out. But if I would
because it's wrong.
Well, my children would have killed me. Get out of my life, Mom. I am living it.
And there's the difference. These children are asking their moms to do these things.
Or maybe not even asking. It's just the level of expectation that's there. And Mom/Dad is just like, they just do it. And I mean, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I am a little bit of a control freak. Just a little bit.
No.
But I am not going to micromanage my children. And yes, I'm going to be the mama bear when you need the mama bear, right? And I'm going to tell him, okay, this person in authority or whatever is not a good situation. You and I, son, we're going to sit down and we're going to discuss how you are going to approach this and how you are going to fix this. And we have that discussion. We have that interaction back and forth. And then he goes off and he does his his thing, but I'm not like charging in front of him. Just
Right.
No,
give
but we're
him-
always there to give a helping hand. If somebody needs a helping hand, you'll always help him. I know when he was making travel plans around the world, you were giving him a little bit of oomph here and there.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know how many gray hairs my husband got. And then he checked into his first hotel and there was no electricity because he didn't know how to use he had to put a card in a thing, and then Riker just passed out from the jet lag, and then he wasn't answering the phone, and then my husband's like,
scary.
we're gonna have to call the hotel, like, and it was it's like, okay, all right. And then finally he answered and he's like, sorry guys, I was just dead to the world. I'm gonna go get a croissant now.
I'm in France. Leave me alone. I can do this.
Right?
All right.
Yeah, it is hard. It's hard to let go.
It is. And today he's making his travel plans for this June because, of course, this last year, all of his travel plans got wiped out. So
Right.
today he was making new travel plans, and I'm excited for him. Just like we
Good.
all are excited for our children when
Yeah.
they're doing something that they love. Maybe they're doing something that we maybe wish we had done when we were their age, and
Mhm.
they're doing it, and they're out and about and living their life. It makes you feel good.
It
I-
does feel good.
Feel bad Christy didn't get to go to Greece this year like she was planning to.
I know. She'll make plans again, though. But
She will.
She's very organized. She'll get there. And I'm
I
sorry
know.
that Mandy couldn't come home,
Yeah.
but that's the way that goes. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy year.
I never wish a day away ever, because every day I live is a day I've got to be here with my people. I know the day that I'm not living where I'm going to be afterwards, and that's good. I'm okay with that. But I kind of like the people that I'm with every day and my people.
Sure.
But I'm telling you, 2020 has just been a shit show.
It started, I think it started for me. It almost started when Uncle passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kim had her accident. And this is a happy thing, so we shouldn't probably talk. But it's been a rough year for me.
2 years. It's been a rough 2 years, Mom. Those were 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
I was excited for 2019 to be over because it was such a bummer year. And then,
Right. And then we,
wow,
thanks, Shell.
what the heck?
So mental health, we could teach kids about mental health, how to maintain a good mental health or understand it maybe. Could we teach
That
them
should
that
be-
in school?
You bet. That should be something that's taught nowadays, especially because
Yeah.
there's a new heightened awareness to it. And it's not poo-pooed anymore and pushed under the rug like it's a bad thing.
Right.
Everybody knows it's a real thing.
I learned
and
to
the brain is just another part of the body, like a finger or an arm or
Mm-hmm.
it's just
I learned about
part
it
of
in
you.
psychology class.
Okay. In college, right?
I guess probably.
Yeah, I think that along with human rights
Yes.
would be some valuable classes.
But I think I see this is where I know I have to extend grace, but it's very difficult for me. I think just because I just can't relate to it. But I think that in today's society, everything you can have an excuse that goes back to how it makes you feel, your mental stability. Like no one can take full control and full action and full responsibility for their life. Like they can always make an excuse for it.
Right.
Mm.
Oh, this is
And
because of.
This
Okay.
is because of this, like we just had a lady who got a companion animal because she can't deal with society right now in COVID. So her doctor prescribed her a cat, and that made me mad. Like, no, granted, I love my kitties and I would not besmirch anyone from having a kitty because they're the best thing in the world. But for real, put on your big girl panties and face the world like I am.
Okay. I want to interject something real quick.
Go ahead.
Because it's been a tough year and I have been working from home since March and I've had a couple blue days just where I'm blue and I feel like it's a lack of human connection because it's almost only my husband or emails or FaceTime messaging or video conferencing. And this past weekend Brian and I got a couple kitties and we have not had any animals for almost 5 years.
What are their names?
And wait, hold that thought.
Okay.
And yesterday I was having a very, very blue day. I just felt blah and depressed. And the weather wasn't the best, but I looked over and I saw those two kitties basking in the sun. And I was like, I need a mental health moment. And I went in there and I laid on the guest bed and I just kind of hung with them for a minute. And I was like, I have missed companion. And I was like, you guys are my companion animals. so, I would have been fine if we didn't have them. I mean, it would have pushed through. I wouldn't need a doctor to prescribe it for me, but I did have that thought yesterday that you guys are going to make it so I'm not alone all the time. So in that person's defense, here I am.
Yeah, and I get that. I know, like when I have a bad day and I come home and I go to bed, like that's just the kind of day it is.
Yeah.
My cats sense that and they curl up with me and they sit on my face and they purr. Like,
Yeah, they know.
They do. And I get that animals are a companion and they can sense your emotions and they give you that.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
For sure.
It just gets my ire up that everyone just seems nowadays to just be able to just not have to take full responsibility for their own self.
So,
But, one of the
But of
things
course, I've never had to deal with depression or abuse or what I would consider the outside factors that would lead someone to have an emotional issue or a mental issue.
Right.
So that's where I say it's hard for me to extend the grace because I've never been in that place. But I will say that at the beginning of all this COVID, I kind of had a glimpse of what depression was like.
Okay.
I have spent almost every day of my life with my parents.
Right.
And
true.
all of a sudden, they weren't there.
Right.
That was low.
Yeah.
But you know what I did was I was like, oh, this sucks. All right, I got to change my attitude. I've got to do something for myself so that I'm out of this funk.
Right.
I didn't make an excuse. And
not everybody, all I can say, Margot, is that's awesome. And you have had the tools, and a lot of people don't have the tools to do that.
Right. There's like clinical depression and different depressions where some people can pull themselves up and think it through
or even recognize it. Margot, you were able to recognize, and this is why, I got to do something about this. When I've been clinically depressed, I couldn't see outside of myself and it was dark.
She couldn't.
These
it was
people, right.
Yeah.
Right. So, Margot, just the fact that you can even admit that you have a hard time finding the grace, but then you can reflect back to your own, you do have it in you. And that's huge.
So,
just get over it.
Well, and there is some of that. I think that's something else that should be taught in school is, you know what? You pull up your bootstraps and you keep marching forward. You do the things that have to be done.
It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay. And you have to be able to deal with that. And you have to be able to learn. You have to learn how to cope.
That's right.
Right. So that brings me to a commercial I heard on the radio going to work today. And it's you can custom order CDB products online to help the people that are close to you that you think need this, or yourself. I'm like,
so
whoa, wait a minute. We're drugging everyone now?
I don't really understand the CBD thing because I will be 100% honest. I bought something probably a year ago and tried it. It was like, I don't even remember. It was like in a honey something. And I was like, I don't feel a thing. Nothing happened. Not one thing. So
Your dad
I don't
and I tried
understand.
it, didn't do nothing for us.
Right. So I don't really get that, Cal. No, I can't help you. I have no idea.
I
don't even know if CBD is real because it did nothing.
But that's the thing is everyone has to mask. No one can feel. No one can experience.
Because they don't know how. They feel like, if you start feeling these amazing or horrible or whatever emotions, how do you deal with it? Nobody's taught how to deal with it anymore.
We know how to deal with it. We know where to go, but other people don't have.
Very true.
You've got to have faith, a higher power. I know, to put a generic term on it, higher power. You got to have God. There's got to be more than just you.
Exactly.
That's right.
You have to have something that you can rely on, that you can put your full faith in. Because if you don't have that, then you don't have anything to fall back on. And
Or to cling to. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys, if every Sunday I post our church's service, because we do on, our pastor records the service and puts it live on Facebook.
Yeah, and then she shares it.
And then I share it. This last Sunday, so Saturday at church, we were all decorating the church. And it looks like Christmas threw up in there. It looks awesome. Anyways,
Shelly would like it.
Our pastor had a manger scene made, and it sits at the front of our church up there by the front, and it's pretty big. And it's got a pretty big Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus and angel and, all the things that go along with the manger. Well, when the pastor ordered this scene a couple years ago, the angel came and it was broken, a little broken spot on it. And so pastor called and was like, hey, the angel's broken. I need a new one. And they're like, I'm sorry, but you got like the last set we have. We don't have any more. We can't even, Frankenstein one and send it to you. And he's like, okay. So what am I going to do now with this broken angel? And so what he was able to do was he was able to take a cloth and kind of drape it around her. So it looks like kind of like she's wearing a sash.
Okay.
And it covers that spot that's broken. Well, when we were setting up the manger scene on Saturday, the pastor's son, little Micah, is watching his dad set up the manger scene and putting the sash over the angel. And Micah goes, are you hiding her brokenness?
Oh, wow.
And all of us that were standing there all just took a gasp and we're like, oh, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And pastor's like, it's going to go into one of my sermons. And when he was preaching, he's like, I didn't even know I was going to say this Sunday, but he just led into that, how we're masking our brokenness. And we really are, as a society, as a person, as individuals, we're masking it.
We do. Absolutely. We do. No one needs to know how broken we are. We put on a front for everybody.
But we all know deep down it's so unrealistic.
We do. We know everyone
we
has.
We know because we have our own holes. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is this going to be part of our podcast, you guys?
From the mouths of babes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does.
Right? That's what it was like. It was like just this, we're just like, oh, dude, Micah, you have no idea. No truer words have been spoken.
Right.
We're all masking our brokenness.
Children always show us the obvious. Always.
Okay. Yeah, we're not born with, I don't think, with these prejudices and these deficiencies and stuff. These are learned things.
Yep.
Learn to cover up the flaws.
Yep. Wow.
I didn't know I had such smart kids.
At least one.
Well, no.
Thanks, Shell.
How do you know I wasn't talking about you?
Maybe she meant you. I was going to say another thing that they don't have in school is a class on recognizing authority.
True.
Because are our parents our authority figures now? Are they the authority figures in the family?
No.
I don't know. And
No.
They don't know nothing.
I just watched this special on HBO, and it was about the homeless kids of I can't remember what borough it was, but it's like in New York City, and it was basically these kids that live in this hotel room. Oh, it was in California. I'm sorry, it's in California. These families that live in hotel rooms because they can get a hotel room for $900 a month when rent for just an efficiency apartment is like $2,000.
Oh man.
And so they're basically homeless because it's a family of 5 living in a hotel room.
Right.
Hotel room. 1 bed, little bathroom, maybe a kitchenette if you're lucky, 250 square feet.
That's incredible.
And there's a school that is open year round. It never closes so that these homeless kids have a place to go every day.
Wow.
And there was like 5 different families that this crew kind of followed, and these kids were so open and honest about what was going on and how none of those kids respected any of their parents. None of them. Like, talk back, don't pick up, swear at them. It was just they're more scared of the lady next door who's going to yell at them, the old lady who doesn't like them making noise, than they are of their own mom or dad.
Wow, that's a problem.
Yeah. And watching them yell and jeer at the police, because the police are there almost daily for some reason or another, and watching the kids, the way that they treat the police, who should be the, most authoritative person in the area.
You'd think.
The kids, yelling at him and throwing stuff at him. And it was very interesting to see how this generation is learning life skills, basically, which
Wow.
are none.
I was
Right.
going to say non-life skills.
No, they don't teach respect of authority
No.
because I think that as a society and as a culture, it has been taught that you shouldn't respect them.
Especially these days.
There's always been bad eggs. Always
Always.
been bad
Always,
eggs in
Mom.
every field. However, I just think we're more aware of it because of our internets and the way we
Because
communicate now.
social media slash the media are able to focus on that one and spread it to everyone, so everyone knows about that one,
And skew it
and not just
in the way they want it skewed.
And
it's
do
not just the
do that
people there in that town
right.
that
Right.
know what happened. Now everyone in basically the whole world now knows that one bad.
Exactly.
Right, and then they judge all the rest by the one.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Whew.
So that's what I'm talking about with basic human rights. I mean, we're all individuals. We're all.
But the way that I learned about authority is you don't piss off the cop because they are going to handcuff you. They are going to slam you into the hood of the police car and they're going to throw your ass in jail.
How did you learn
Right.
that, Margot?
Watching cops.
I was just going to say that. Watching Cops,
Exactly.
which isn't on anymore.
Oh, I
Right?
miss it.
They are bringing back one of those shows. It isn't Cops. It's that other one, the Live PD.
That's a
Supposedly
good
they're
show.
bringing that back.
That's
Okay.
a good show. I love watching it.
And they had
watch,
just started filming in Montana, like in Great Falls or Missoula or something like that. They had just
Oh.
started
Live
taping there
PD did?
when they, yeah,
Oh,
hmm
very cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that's interesting.
All right. Well, we
Yeah,
probably
but
need
still-
our mom moment.
Oh, didn't we have that?
If we need it.
Oh, I don't know. Or our health moment. We've been going for over 2 hours.
If we need it. Well, and that's the thing. Sometimes we don't need the extra stuff.
Right.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
I agree. It's been a good night, though.
It
It
has.
has.
Yeah. So one thing today in history, though,
Yep.
I want to make sure that everyone is aware of. Today in 1953, Hugh Hefner published the first edition of the Playboy magazine featuring Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, well,
Yep.
there you go.
I
Did
knew
you
she was
know
in the first issue?
Dolly's going to be in it again?
Really?
She is not.
She is too. 75 years old, their 75th anniversary. She was also in it back in the 70s.
It doesn't mean she'll be nude, Margot. Don't
It
worry.
doesn't mean she'll be nude.
Well, I'm
no.
sure she's going to have her bits covered up, but most of her bits will be out.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but
I just told Jason that I'm excited because she's going to have a Christmas special on TV and I want to watch it.
I'm excited because she contributed to the coronavirus
yeah,
stuff.
like $1 million
She got $1
bucks.
million. Yeah.
She's amazing. We lost connection during this portion of our conversation, and here is where we pick up during a different portion of our conversation. Sorry for any inconvenience.
But then it's only going to be a matter of time before it's necessary to go to concerts, to fly on planes, to go into certain public spaces.
So do you
Which
think it'll
I'll
be
be fine
required?
with
Do you think you're
in
going
a
to be
few
required
years.
to have a vaccination before you can fly or something?
Unless you're a certain
I'm sure it will
religion.
be.
I'm sure it will be.
So
I'm
what are they
sure
going
it
to do?
will
Is
be.
stamp you on the head? Bam. Yep, you had
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure.
Well, one of the major airlines did recently say that you have to wear a mask no matter what. It doesn't matter if you have a doctor's note. It doesn't matter if you have a certain religion. It does not matter. If you want to fly in our airplane, it's a major airline like United or Delta or whatever. You will not get on our plane without a mask. Period. End of sentence.
Good for them.
So, I mean, I think it's important to wear a mask. I do. I think this is a very deadly and terrible virus.
Yeah.
And
I do too. I do too.
I just go nowhere.
I mean,
Yeah, me either. And I can relate to Margot. I think about, I've been thinking about retiring for a while and trying it. COVID has made me do that.
Yeah.
And it's tough. So I had my moment today with God and had to say, okay, I was put here not to do what I was doing. I was put here to help people, I guess. So start thinking about it.
Right?
Because it's very depressing.
Oh, for sure.
it can be.
Yeah.
it can
But
be. Yep.
just listen to, I don't know, a couple murder podcasts and it'll cheer you right up.
No, no murder.
Change your
no.
mind in a minute, Margot.
let's talk about my kitties or something.
Oh, what
cute.
are your kitties' names? I know them.
Oh, yeah.
I do know 'em.
I do.
All right, I'm about to share a picture with the group, but they are named Shadrach and Abednego.
Oh, that is amazing.
And
What happened to Meshach?
I know. Well, Meshach is for whatever future animal that we're eventually going to have, no matter what that is. But I do call Shadrach is Brian's. It's a boy. They're twins. They're from the same litter. They're both black. They have the same little white wisps in their ears. They're so cute. They're about 4 months old. And I call mine Abby. She's a little girl, so cute. So now I'll send that picture to you guys. They're just adorable, and
Oh.
we have really been missing having animals.
Yeah, I know you loved them. You love kittens.
Yeah,
I wasn't surprised at all when you sent that picture to me.
and we do eventually want a dog. We don't have a fenced in yard or anything, and it'll be a while. But it's been almost 5 years without pets, and it's been good in some ways. There's no cat litter to have to worry about, but really, really lonely.
When you
in
get
other
ready
ways,
to
so.
do your pet thing, you will consult me and Margot, because me and Margot found the best. The best dogs.
Oh, for dogs?
Yes. When you get
Okay.
a dog. We spent the other night, I kept saying to Steve, I got to plug my phone in. It's dying. Oh, she sent me
Well, I can't wait. Okay.
There are a lot of cute dogs. And my husband mentioned something the other day. Actually, was it yesterday or was it the day before?
I think it's when we
He
were
said
talking about
something-
dogs.
He said something. He's like, so dog, it would have to be a small dog. And then he made a gesture with his hands, It'd have to be a small dog. And I said, all right, okay. Just remember the fine print on the marriage license that you signed. It said, Margot will deal with the kitty box. Jason has to deal with the dog crap.
Ah.
And he's like, all right, okay, all right. It was like,
And he's had to deal with some of that at my house. Bless his heart. They've cleaned up my yard more than once this season.
oh, I felt so bad for him when we went to go clean up your yard last Sunday? I
because
think it was last
there was
Sunday.
snow when we left and we didn't do it.
Yeah. And that morning at church, I twisted my back.
Oh.
And my back was spasming. And so when we got to your house, I couldn't help. I just had to sit on the couch and I felt like a big, huge lump of doo-doo because I couldn't move. My back was on fire.
It sucks
And
when
my
that
poor
happens.
husband had to go clean up the dog poop. My husband does not do well with dog poop, especially those dogs' dog poop, because it's the size of a small dog.
That's big.
And I felt bad.
We tried very hard to have that done before they come over to do our yard when we're gone. We didn't. We didn't expect
it's
you
not
over.
a problem. I go out there and I pick it up. It's not a problem. I pick it up. But he has a problem with dog doo-doo. Poor guy.
It's tough. Yeah.
I bought I do clean it up in Red Lodge. We're in our nearby yard, in our area. And I bought a little scooper and a little rake. I love it. I don't have to bend over because that's hard on my back
Right.
if I bend over too much. So
I
I'm
get
going to
that.
get one for Jason. Maybe I'll get two for Christmas.
There you go. Merry Christmas. Thanks
That's
for taking
awesome.
care of my dogs.
That's right.
Make it easier for you to take care of my dogs.
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I don't know how in the near future we may have a dog. I don't know.
I can't wait to find out what kind of dog we're talking about.
I can't wait to see what the cats do.
Right.
Oh, well,
They're
I
gonna
do
leave.
not believe that he would bring a dog into the house while we still have Jingle Bells.
Which one is
So-
Riley's cat?
That's Tic Tac.
Okay.
Tic Tac's a big, huge bully and she can suck it. But Jingle Bells, she's a big, huge bully too, but she's old. She's 12.
Mm.
She's our dainty little thing. I don't think he would bring another animal into the house until she was gone. So, because she would not like it at all.
It's her domain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
tough to do for an old cat. That would be cruel, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys watch some of the videos of Tittles the special needs duck that I shared on Instagram?
Yes. What is the deal?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's the best.
It is the best.
Oh, in his little stroller, or reading a book, eating his peas.
You guys have way
I
too
love
much time.
Instagram. Oh,
Um,
I love
we all
Instagram.
have a little bit of that now, don't we?
Not me.
There's like never any bad stuff on Instagram. There's no political stuff. There's just happy stuff. And special need ducks and goats and sheep and pigs.
And the elephant who has a brace on his leg or an artificial leg.
What?
An elephant that has I was telling Chrissy, I found these needy animals and these rescue animals, I guess they are. And I'm telling her about it. And so the other day she sends me a picture. Guess what showed up on my feed? This elephant with an artificial leg.
I have to find that because I follow the chickens with artificial legs, the goats in their little carts who can't walk, and now the special needs duck. I now need a special needs elephant.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Perfect grandma would be proud, Margot. Always the elephants.
Yep.
It's coming your way. I shared it. Hopefully it'll show up.
Oh, that's funny.
Uh-huh. All right, ladies. It's
All
right,
9
ladies.
o'clock.
Yeah,
It's been a great night.
it has.
Way too long.
And I'm hoping during the holidays that we can do some, I don't know, that house party or some kind of FaceTiming as a family. That'd be nice.
We
I
will.
don't know how to arrange all that, but someone does.
We'll get it figured
Yeah,
out.
we need to do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, I love you.
I love you too.
All of you.
All of
Me
you.
too.
as
Love you
well.
guys.
All right. Oh my gosh. Love you guys. Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
Love you too.
Good night.
guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't sign off until Shelley says no.
I know, Mom.
Yep.
All right, I'm stopping.